Hello and welcome back for another episode of Financial Freedom by 40. In this week's episode we are visiting Broome and the Dampier Peninsula. We get to visit a pearl farm, we ride camels, we see the beautiful red sands of Roebuck Bay and the red cliffs of James Price Point. We also get to go on a tour up on the Dampier Peninsula with some of the traditional landowners and learn some of their traditional fishing and hunting techniques. And to top the week off, we go searching for dinosaur footprints, then watch one of the beautiful Cable Beach sunsets. We started our time in Broome with a visit down to the Broome Town Beach jetty. Unfortunately, Broome is in crocodile territory, and although we did see the occasional person swimming, we decided that this was not a place that we wanted to dip our toes in. We did, however, pop around the corner to visit the fabulous local museum. Broome is a place with a lot of really interesting history, and it's well worth making the visit into the museum to get yourself a bit grounded before exploring the town. One of the really fascinating stories that we found in the museum was about the Catalina flying boats that are sunk out in the Roebuck Bay. The flying boats were sunk out there during World War II by the Japanese, and at super low tides you can still go and see the flying boats out on the mudflats. Unfortunately, the tides weren't low enough for us to go out and see the flying boats while we were in Broome, but we did learn a lot about them in the museum, and we also learned a lot about the pearling history in this area, which was also really fascinating. What you're seeing here is us exploring an old sailing loft that was used to make sails for the pearling luggers back in the 18 and 1900s. The building was built back in the late 1800s and has now been restored and is part of the museum. Coming to check out the pretty red sand of the Roebuck Bay. You can see over here, but as you can see over there, swimming's not on the menu at the moment because there have been croc sightings. Not that I think we'd swim in this part of the world anyway, because there are known to be rogue crocs around. Roebuck Bay is one of those insta-famous places that we wanted to go and check out with our own eyes. The beautiful red sands and contrasting teal coloured water is neat to see. The red cliffs you can see in the video are called Pindan, and it's the Pindan rock that gives the sand the red colour. You can really see the contrast the best when you view the water and the sand from the sky. Again, we didn't dare to dip our toes in, but we did make friends with some cute little hermit crabs. He's so cute, he's so tiny. Is this little guy gonna come out again?
What is that?
They're little hermit crabs. Stay still, just watch.
Mr. Krabs! Mr. Krabs! Oh, Mr. Krabs is okay.
Don't hurt them.
No, I didn't. He fell into the hole.
Look, there's this little
Go, mini crab!
Oh look, the little one, he's good, he's okay, he's moving off now. This is a bigger one.
I like the tiny one. Get out. Leave me alone.
Right, Xavier, you want to land again?
Where's he off to? So we were planning on going out to James Price Point to camp and some of the other camps out there that are free camps, and we heard that the road out there is not the greatest, so we thought it's not too far from Broome, it's about an hour to get out there from Broome, so we've come out without the caravan and we'll have a look and see what the campgrounds are like out here. We'll just air down the tyres because it's already getting a combination of corrugated and soft sand, so we'll see how we go. There's a caravan just up in front of us, so we'll see how they go as well and make a decision as to whether we come out here with the van. The scenery out at James Price Point is truly stunning, and we'd really hoped that we would get to camp out here. In the end, it turned out that the road itself wasn't that bad, but unfortunately due to some recent storm damage there aren't too many places left out here that you can camp with a caravan. As you can see here, there's a bit of a road on the grassy part of the cliff, and there are a few sites down there that would fit caravans in there, but they were all filled up when we were down there, and we didn't want to come all the way back out here again with the caravan and find we couldn't grab a spot. In the past, people were able to drive their caravans down a ramp and onto the sand and camp right up along the cliffs here, but unfortunately the ramp down onto the beach has been badly damaged by the storm, and only the hardiest of four-wheel drivers, I would imagine, would want to go down it. We didn't even want to try and take the car down for fear that we might get stuck on the ramp.
Water's done some serious damage, hasn't it?
It sure has. Some keen four-wheel drivers look like they've been down, because there's...
Experienced four-wheel drivers.
Yeah,
Look at this.
no worries.
People have bottomed out on it.
No worries, we'll just take the caravan down, shall we?
On the rock. That would have hurt their stuff.
What is that? What is that?
The underside of their car.
Ooh. So what is that piece?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit of fixing this up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally. You are destroying your car if you're dumb enough to go down.
Well, look, you can see the track. Somebody's come down here just recently, because you can see the tracks down onto the sand.
I mean, if you've got a purpose-built four-wheel drive, which is all hires, that's right. That's what they do for four-wheel driving.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Also, an MPS could do it. An MPS could do it like eating a piece of cake.
You reckon?
I still think that's plain stupid. I still think we should have brought in MPS.
Oh, look, you can see someone's driven down that way. You can see people have driven down that way. There's fairly recent tracks. Oh, it's so pretty. It's such a shame you can't come down. Well, at least not with the caravan anyway.
Camp.
Yeah, well, people used to camp all down here on this, along these edges. Up, you know, like up against these pretty red cliffs. And there's the really red cliffs down there with the white sand.
We still think it's well worth taking the time to drive out here from Broome or on your way up the Dampier Peninsula to have a look at this beautiful piece of coastline. We've seen nothing quite like this in our travels so far, and so we were glad that we made the effort to come out here and have a look. There are also quite a number of other campgrounds that you can stay at for free in this area. So one we also checked out was at Quandong Point, and there were some decent sized sites there that were suitable for caravans. It was pretty busy while we were there, and some of the ones a bit further up the track would have been too tight for us to have gotten in with our van, but you might have had some luck with a smaller van or camper trailer. There are also other campsites at Bard Creek and at Willie Creek as well. We didn't venture in and visit those as we were starting to run out of time on the day we were out here, but lots of free camping options out here now that James Price isn't quite as accessible as it used to be. The following morning we took another little trip just about 20 minutes out of Broome to visit Coconut Wells. Coconut Wells is another beautiful beach where we decided not to take a swim due to the risk of crocs. They do, however, have some beautiful rock pools here, some of which we've seen pictures of people swimming in when you're there at the right tide. It turns out the best time to come and visit the Coconut Wells rock pools is on an outgoing tide. We arrived right at the low tide, which meant it was great for exploring around the rock pools and checking out the little fish and crabs and things that were in there, but there wasn't quite enough water in the rock pools for us to take a swim the day that we were there. Nevertheless, we still had a fun time looking around and checking out all of the creatures that we could find in the rock pools. And as you can see from the sky, there are probably a few places that we didn't quite manage to clamber over to where we could have taken a dip had we been in the mood for a swim. The Coconut Wells rock pools can be accessed along a fairly easy track from the main road, and there is a two-wheel drive accessible car park which is located right near the Coconut Wells lagoon. If you want to park up right near the beach, you do have to have a four-wheel drive as there is a sand track. The sand track was pretty hard when we drove through it. We didn't have to air down tyres or anything like that, but there were a couple of spots that were a little bit wet, so we do think that maybe water could come over here when the tide is in. So just be mindful of that if you are taking your car through there. We did also hear that you can go swimming in the Coconut Wells lagoon when the tide is in. There is a drift float sort of scenario that happens there, there where I think as the tide is going out you can float along the lagoon with pool noodles. Again, we weren't so keen to do this due to the croc risk, so we didn't check that one out when the tide was higher, but you could put that on your list and check it out with the Visitors Information Centre if you're feeling a little bit more brave about putting yourself in the water. Here's a bit of a close-up view of what the rock pool area is like when you are down there exploring. You do have to be quite careful as the surface is quite rough and quite slippery, so it's probably a good idea to have rock shoes when you're exploring down here. We had our Crocs on, which probably weren't the best choice of foot attire for this, and there also are quite a few oysters around, so you have to be a little bit careful not to cut yourself up. But this is definitely a cool spot to come and have a look around if you are visiting this part of Australia. We've come up the Dampier Peninsula, which is just north of Broome, to have a bit of a look, and we're going to do a pearl farm tour and just a cultural tour up here with one of the local Indigenous people who will take us out fishing and that kind of thing, so it's pretty exciting. So just driving our way into camp, which is at the Signet Bay Pearl Farm. What are we doing here, boys?
We're setting up 2 Tasman tents.
Australian Tasman tent.
Why?
Because we want to test them.
Test them out before we go to level bundles and that sort of stuff and good.
So we're heading across the Kimberley, and across the Kimberley is the Gibb River Road, and along the Gibb River Road there's a big sideways track that goes up to Mitchell Falls. So it's not caravan friendly, and so we don't really want to take the caravan all that way up, so we've decided to buy some tents, and we're going to leave the caravan at one of the stations and then go on a tent mission up to Mitchell Falls for a few days. So we bought some tents from Mitre 10. We're going to set them up now before we leave Broome, just to make sure everything's all good to go, and then we will use them across the journey and probably in a number of other national parks.
Okay, bring it
Cool.
down this
Let's
way.
have some fun.
Wish us luck.
Wish us luck.
See how many arguments we can have trying to do this. They're quite big actually, aren't they? They're sort of bigger than I imagined. Oh, we could have fit all 4. We should have, maybe the 4th person one would have been alright.
Yeah. Are we like double the size?
Yeah, come on, both sides.
Yep, both sides open.
Back to basics camping. Are you going to miss your van?
No.
You're not going to miss the van.
I'm not going to miss my super cramped bed. Hold that up, Dad, and I'll keep this.
I'm sure an air bed is much better than sleeping in a caravan bed. You alright there?
Can you hear it? Like it's creaking, like it's about to snap.
And
Oh, well, we'll test the quality of our, what was it, $100 tent, $99 tent, or whatever it was.
Supposed to be pretty good though.
They had good reviews.
Someone said tidy together in the middle.
Who's the tallest?
Yeah.
Oh, no deal. Who's the second tallest?
We could have gone to Kmart, Ollie, and got like a $39 one.
Dad's on that.
Oh, Ollie, didn't follow the instructions.
Oh, you have to thread it through the hole.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you don't have to do one of them.
You gotta undo both. You have to go through the middle bit.
Darn.
Oh, both poles have to go through the middle because it's not a tie one like our other one.
Tired.
Ah.
Cool.
Try again.
Right, who's feeding?
But this one. Don't bring it that way.
Let it go back to Ollie.
Polar. Fred,
Good teamwork, one at a time.
you in?
You're in.
And
Go.
and
I really think we're supposed to snap.
sorry.
Feels that way.
Done. Now wait. Okay, wait. My job is to wait.
Do you remember if you scream at each other, it's going to be on the YouTube video?
Okay, I'm not screaming at no one.
Yep.
No, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Clips.
That's quite good, isn't it? That's all you need, guys.
No.
Yes, we're in Australia.
No.
It's called air conditioning.
Yeah, that's
You
all
said you need air conditioning.
Zip the bottom up and then you know.
I already zipped this side up.
That's great.
Well, let's look in the park.
Good.
Yep.
No.
Right, all done.
No, second.
Second one.
See? second one.
You haven't even finished the first one
we
yet.
first need to put the first one's cover on.
You need to cover off.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's compulsory, sir.
Hey, we've seen other people sleeping with no fly.
Don't care, I'm sleeping.
Doesn't matter. You can see the stars better that way. You've missed.
I've decided you're a whole bunch of trees.
Stop. You guys have missed one of the clippy things already.
Xavier missed one of the clippy things.
Is it supposed to go through the... Oh no, doesn't matter. Ignore me.
Okay, let's go over this way.
Why do I always get the last one? I always do. There's a clip. Where do you clip the clip on?
Onto the ring. Clip it onto the rings at the bottom. Done, clipped on.
So you finished?
1 tent down, 1 to go.
Is it finished?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Oh, what's this? We need to do the rope.
Yeah, I reckon that would probably have some inside. Probably right. It's not going to be windy though. It's going to be windy or rainy. So you'll be fine like that. Done.
1 tent down, 1 to go.
Time to pump up the air mattress. Now that we're in croc territory, we won't be using the paddleboard so much, so we can put the paddleboard pump to some good juice.
You can't pump it in there. You ready?
It's about to be.
Oh, it's the same as the good one.
Ready.
You're going to have to jump off it, huh?
About to be ready. Okay, it's in. Go. Wait.
Come to your very hardest.
You may be some time. Might take just about as long as a paddleboard.
It's not gonna pump
Come on,
itself.
muscles.
This is when I miss our one at home with the electric pump.
I'll give you some muscles. Come on.
Go. Give me a sec.
Well, you're a bit hot there. Hard
40
work.
degrees and I'm pumping up an air mattress.
You wanted to. Come on.
I thought they were electrical.
You wish.
That's the most work I've seen Ollie do.
Yeah, I know. Still got a way to go though. It's still got a bit of air to go in there.
It can be hard work doing this every night.
Well, it doesn't have to be every night. It'll be, well, a few times.
Okay, we'll try the other.
Keep going.
We'll try the other tip when we get back in Broome. I'm not pumping this up again.
Unless we have air conditioning still.
Yeah, unless we have aircon.
It's looking good. You're looking like we're getting there now, Dad.
Why am I doing the work? This was their idea.
I know. That's
Always Dad ends up getting involved
That's
doing
soft
the work.
enough.
that's how it
We
works.
like it that soft.
Done.
Is that good?
That's
Yeah.
parenting.
Good. Now quickly shut the valve and shut the air conditioning.
The mattress weighs more than the tent.
Yeah, it's always double. No.
3.9. The tent's with 3, I think, and this is 3.9. Still, that's not bad. That's not bad. 6 kilos for a camping setup, or 6.9 kilos, 7 kilos. Yeah, got to go the lightweight. Oh, was that hard work, Ollie?
You have no clue how hot it is in there.
Oh, it's all done now.
After setting up the tents, we decided to go and do a bit of exploring around the pearl farm. One of the places we stopped for a look was this old pearl lugger that is down near the coast. Ryan and the boys tried to figure out how it all worked.
This is my guess on what they do. They pull them up, they put them through there, which is to wash all the silt or anything off them. Then they go and stack them into this tank. I reckon.
what do they do with
Then they
that?
bring them all the way back out to here or something or other, and then they extract the pearls from them.
Well,
Then
maybe
they
we'll...
put them back into the tank, and then they take them back out, and then they drop them back into space.
Well, I
into their
guess
place.
when we do our pearl farm tour on Friday, we might learn.
Oh, I know, there.
As the name suggests, Signet Bay Pearl Farm is located in Signet Bay near the top of the Dampier Peninsula. This pearl farm operation has been running since 1946 and it has all been run by the same family who are still operating the pearl farm today. It's come from fairly humble beginnings to now include this awesome pool and campground area. They even have an on-site pearl gallery where you can pick yourself up some beautiful pearl jewellery. We're at the Dampier Peninsula and we're on our way out to do
tour with one of the local Aboriginal guides. So what do we reckon, boys? What do we think about this cultural tour that we're going on today? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
What are you excited about?
Mainly the spearfishing.
Spearfishing. And you, Xavier, what do you think? Spearfishing? What about catching crabs?
No.
Not so excited about catching crabs?
No, not really.
What about cooking them?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah? Okay, well we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit snug. Oh, the poor mirror. Oh.
We pull maybe the mirrors up.
Maybe.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, I know, I've got to try and find a patch where I'm not going to lose a hand.
No.
What?
Or bruising. You need to step on the gas with a hind.
They're only just up in front of us.
You're right. Oh yeah, you're right.
Don't get bogged.
Don't get bogged before these people here. It'll be humiliating. We'll be the only ones who got bogged. It's a bad thing about being on the back.
The tour we went on was a Southern Cross cultural tour, and it's one where they take you out onto their traditional lands to experience what it is like to do some traditional hunting and fishing, and also to learn a bit about some of the bush foods and other survival techniques that have been passed down through the generations of the families who have lived here. The type of tour that we joined is called a tag-along tour. There's a few different companies that run these up here, and you do have to have your own four-wheel drive to be able to get to the areas. Although aside from being a little bit tight to get through with Bruiser, the tracks themselves are actually pretty good to drive on. Our first stop was to a mangrove area where there was a natural spring. We were shown how to cleanse ourselves using the natural spring so that the ancestors would know that we were allowed to visit the land. It was then down into the mangroves to start looking for some crabs and some shellfish. The boys here are looking in the roots of the mangroves where you can find some large shellfish that are edible.
They're huge.
Come show me. Oh wow, they are huge.
Dad.
Oh, good one.
Look at
You can see
that.
them inside, look.
Yeah.
See them in there?
Oh, the creature, yeah.
Next up, we were taught how to use a traditional style of spear to search for mud crabs in the mudflats area.
We go, see where you can you feel one? Yeah. You feel one in there? Doesn't sound like it, does it?
I could have. Wait.
Oh, yeah. Long way, isn't it? No. Go for a sec. Not a big one, though. Just keeps like going.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's anything in there, it just kind of hits
Sand.
sand, yeah.
Oh yeah, is it got fresh mud though?
Yeah.
You reckon?
That looks pretty hard, I think.
Don't know if it's got fresh tracks coming out of it, sweetie.
Gotta drop the back end out, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go when I go back home.
That goes a long way in that one, doesn't it?
You got him?
It's a long way in.
No, the other side, brother. Look, see him there? They're fresh.
Oh, over here.
Yeah.
See what fresh bullock tracks? Fresh bullock tracks.
After a little bit of searching, a couple of nice big crabs were found. The crabs that were taken are male crabs as they leave the female crabs at this time of year for reproduction.
Just shed its skin.
Look at his nippers. Don't let him nip
Yeah,
you.
don't let those nip you.
The boys were also taught how to throw these spears if they were to be using them during spearfishing. Here's Xavier practicing his spear throwing technique.
Gonna go again? Just not in the direction of people.
Put your finger on the back of it, remember? Finger on the back. That's it.
Woohoo!
Nice one.
Next up, it was down to the beach to try our luck at a spot of fishing. The fishing we did down here was using a large net which was pulled out from the beach using some floats. The boys didn't actually throw their spears down here to catch fish, but they did use them to help carry the fish up from the beach.
Oh, Xavier's
There is mullet for days.
Oh wow, look at that! Oh my goodness!
Mullet.
Look at them all!
That's how we roll.
Whole school of mullet.
Wow! What you got there?
6 mullet, and Xavier's got another 6 mullet.
Nice!
Don't tip the tip down, Xavier, because they'll fall off. Then you got to take it back to the beach and wash them off again.
Hey, now this is the time where you wish that it was one of the things that had a lock in each end.
Yeah.
Or they were hanging from the string.
And here's a little glimpse at the feast once it had all been cooked. Before leaving Signet Bay Pearl Farm, we signed up for one of their pearl farm tours to learn a little bit more about the pearl farming operation and the history of pearl farming in this area. We had a really great host, Terry, who showed us around the farm and also showed us how they harvest the pearls from a oyster. The oysters farmed here are Pinctada maximus, which as you can see are pretty huge. The pearls harvested here are high quality saltwater pearls that fetch a pretty price. It's believed that this particular necklace here could fetch anything up to $1 million at auction, with a starting bid of 300,000 Australian dollars. And at the end of the tour, we got to sample a little piece of oyster meat, which sells for $200 a kilo. The following morning, it was back to Broome for us, and that afternoon we joined in one of the famous camel tours that take place on Cable Beach. The tour that we joined was the afternoon tour with the blue camel safaris. Once upon a time, the owner of the company was working at a cattle station. The cattle were mustered up and a camel was in amongst them. The owner fell in love with this particular camel and decided to take it home with her. She then rescued other camels and the blue camel safaris were born.
What do you think?
A bit bumpy, but it's nice.
It is quite bumpy, isn't it?
You won't be as bumpy. Look, his front feet are jumping up and down.
The afternoon camel tour lasts about 30 minutes, and I'm actually glad we chose this one over the hour-long sunset tour, as I think half an hour on a camel was quite long enough. My hips were really feeling it by the time we got back and got off the camels. But this is a really fun thing to do, and something we would definitely recommend that you add to your list of activities if you're visiting Broome. Before leaving Broome, we wanted to check out another of its famous attractions, the dinosaur footprints at Ganthium Point.
Sorry, 2 3-toed prints pointing opposite ways to each other. On like one rock or...
2 meters apart.
Okay. So we're at Ganthium, however you say it, Point, looking for the dinosaur footprints. There's dinosaur footprint fossils in the rocks somewhere here. It's a beautiful spot though, the rocks are really pretty. Sorry? Have you got I've got the dinosaur tracker app on my phone if you wanna.
This is what it looks like.
Oh, it's a bit slippery. You think you've got one? Let's have a
The other
look.
one's that way somewhere.
Oh yeah, that does look like one. Okay, let me get a bit closer.
1,
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
no, that does look like a dinosaur footprint.
Yeah, that looks like the picture.
Let's get a bit closer. Oh, there you go. No, that definitely looks like one.
Yeah, see that's the picture.
Yeah, I'd say that's it, yeah. Well done.
And then there's another one 2 meters pointing the opposite direction.
I bet it could still be underwater.
Yeah, it could still be underwater. I mean, we're still 45 minutes away from tide.
2 meters in the opposite direction. I mean,
No, I didn't say opposite direction.
Oh.
It's pointing in the opposite direction.
pointing in the opposite direction.
Yeah, the foot.
Ah. Okay.
So we'll be pointing that way.
Well, who knows? It could be pointing any number of directions, I suppose.
One of the final things we wanted to do before we left Broome was to make our way down to Cable Beach to enjoy one of the beautiful sunsets there. Cable Beach is famous for its sunsets, and a lot of people drive their four-wheel drives down onto the beach and enjoy dinner and a drink down on the beach while they watch the sunset. We decided to rather stay up in the park area adjacent to the beach and have our little picnic up there and enjoy some quality time together watching the sunset on Mother's Day. And the sunset is where we are going to leave you for this week's episode. Thanks so much to everybody who has tuned in and followed along with our journey this week, and we hope to see you again in next week's episode. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you receive all of our latest episodes, including the next one, which will be our journey along the Gibb River Road. If you'd like to follow along on the journey with us on social media, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Financial Freedom by 40.